Hi guys, Mayowa here. Today I'm going to be showing you how I made this easy plain and patterned wide collar dress. So let's move. So now I'm going to start with my style line. So the first style line is the one that goes from the shoulder here right to my armhole level at the other side here, because this is a full complete pattern. So you are going to need a complete pattern to draft this pattern. So I'm going to draw a curved line right from here down to my armhole level at the other side here, and this divides the pattern into two parts. This part is known as A and this part is known as B. So this part from here towards the hem of your dress will be cut in a separate fabric, and this part will be cut also in a separate fabric. So you can go ahead to like trace this out on another piece of paper and also trace this out on another piece of paper. So I'm going to adjust the neckline just a bit, just so that it's not too hooked up to the neck. So I'll go in from here by 1 inch. This is the midpoint of my neckline here. So I'm going to redraw my neckline back to the middle. And that's my new neckline. Now I'm just going to add my allowances to this. That is 1/4 inch here, 1/2 inch at the shoulders, 1/2 inch at the armhole, half inch here also. Now let's work on the collar. You're going to decide how wide you want the collar to be. So for me, I just want it like between 3 to 4 inches. Then I'm going to tilt my tape measure like this. Then I'm going to come right here also and measure 4 inches again. Then you draw a curved neckline that follows the shape of this way. So I'm going to place another piece of paper underneath this, and then I'll trace this out, and that completes the draft of our pattern for today. The back of the dress is going to be as normal, like just your normal basic back. We're not going to be dividing it in any way, so just your normal crew neck back, and then you include your darts and all of that. So now I'm just going to trace this out, and then I'll trace the lower part of this out. I already traced this part out and you've already seen that. Now I'm now going to move ahead to cutting this out of my fabric. So I just found out the fabric I plan to use to cut my own full size dress won't be enough to cut the dress. So I decided to like draft it out in smaller versions for my miniature scale mannequin. So this is my small scale pattern. This is A, that is the upper part. This is A, this is B, this is our collar piece like we drafted on the full scale pattern. This is it. This goes like this, and this is the back piece. This is the basic back I was talking about, just normal. So I decided to I cut out 2 bits of this collar piece because it's going to go all the way around. So the collar is not just going to be in front here, it's going to go all the way around. So what I'm going to do is to join these parts together. I'm just going to tape it together with my paper tape, and this is what this is going to look like. So it's going to go all the way around like this, and this is going to be and because I want to have like a bit of a sleeve, just like a little sleeve around here, I'm going to extend this part by 4 inches here, 4 inches here. So let's just do that on another piece of paper. So I'm just going to place this like this, and then you're going to extend from here. You slant your tape rule like this, and then you extend by 4 inches. So you extend from here by 4 inches, and then you do the same also underneath here. Then you place the same paper, that is another paper, you place it also on this side, and then you do the same thing, extend out by 4 inches, 4 inches also here. So I'm going to do that now. This is our front collar piece, and this is our back collar piece. So for the back collar piece, there are still a bit of alterations to do to the back collar piece, because you know there is going to be a zip side, that is a zip allowance at the back, you can see here. So we have to put that, create that zip allowance also at the middle of the back here. But first let me extend this part here just like I did here. Now for the back alteration, locate the midpoint of this, that is from here to here. Just locate the midpoint, and this gives me 5 3/4 inches. 5.4 divided by 2. That's going to give me 2.7, I think. So I'll mark out my 2.7 inches, and that is what I have here. And this is my midpoint. So I'm just going to draw a line. And this is the middle point of our back. So this is also the back, and this is also the back. So I'm going to cut this part open, because you know we have to extend from here, like add a bit here for the zip allowance. So you can extend here, or whatever, if you want it to go into the zip allowance at the back, that is here. If you want this to go in here, you have to add, like you have to extend this towards the zip allowance. I hope you understand what I'm talking about. So this is what this is going to look like. But if you want it to just stop like on this line here and not go into the zip allowance, you can just leave it this way. So you leave it this way. You just add like a bit of allowance to turn this part inside out. But if you want it to go into the zip allowance, you have to extend this part out by whatever you extended out here. So I hope you understand what I just explained. So now that that's done, I'm going to attach this point to this point here. So this is it. This goes back, this goes to the back, this goes to the back. This is our shoulder point. This is our shoulder point here. And this is the second shoulder point here. So this is our shoulder point here, and this is the second shoulder point at the back here, and this is the space for the sleeve. So let me just arrange this so you can see. So I hope you get the drift now. So this extended point here, your hand can just go into this point here. So I'm just going to cut all of this out now out of my fabric, and then I'll join it together just so you can see, just so this paper doesn't confuse you as too much. But I know you can get it out of what I just did. So these are my cut out pieces. Remember to notch this part. This represents the sleeve, this represents another sleeve point, this is the front back, this represents the shoulder point. So remember to notch this part on your fabric like I've done. I already notched it here, and then you notch this sleeve part also, or you mark it whichever one, and then you also notch this point here. So once you are done with that, you place this. Before we even place the collar, we're going to pick up, these are my 2 back pieces. So I'm going to join the shoulder of my 2 back pieces to the shoulder of this upper part here. So it's going to be right sides together. And that's the first step. So I'm assuming that once you cut this on your fabric, you already cut out your facing, and then you already turned in the neckline of this part. So I'm assuming you already turned in your neckline and also turned the neckline of the back piece. So because this is just for practice test, so for me to show you how it's done. So I'm not cutting the facing for this, but for my miniature mannequin. So alright, so once you are done with turning out the neckline, you join the shoulders like I've explained, and then you join also the second shoulder, and that's done. You know, you have to like iron this. If you are sewing this for yourself, you have to iron the seams here open. So right, so now I'll pick up this part of my dress. This is it here, and then what I'm going to do is to first place my collar here. So I'll place my collar here. Remember, I notched where my shoulder point is, and this is where my shoulder point is. So I'm going to place that here and pin down. So remember, we already added allowance to the side of our dress here, so you mark that, and this is it here. So your notched point for the sleeve is going to end up on that mark, and that is what I have here. I hope you can see this. So right, so now you're going to place this. You know, this has to come like this here. So now you're going to place this like this. You know, this has to come here. You know, this has to come here. So you're going to place this on top of this and pin down, then you sew. So I'm going to pin this down all the way till I get here. So once I pin down, I sew down. So, and this is what this is going to look like. So obviously for the collar, you know, you have to cut 2 pieces of the collar. So one is going to serve as the lining to turn the other one inside out. So it's only once you have done that you are going to be able to place your collar here. So you're going to just turn this part round and leave this part open, just so that you can attach it here. Or if you want, you can also close this part if that is how you want your sewing, or how you want whatever it is you're doing to go. So it's once you are done with that you can then attach your collar to your dress. I hope you understand. So yeah, this is what this is going to look like, and that is all for the front piece. I didn't put that on this dress. I already closed in my darts on my pattern. So yeah, and now I already joined the shoulders, you can see, and also joined the front collar and this part. So once you're joining the front collar, once you sew this part like this, once you join this part like this, and you get here, before you get to the side allowance here, you're going to stop and pull this out this way. Then you pick up your back piece and then you place it right sides together with this one. Make sure you push this back. It doesn't have to, it won't go into this part. So then you sew down by 1 inch for your side allowance. So once you're sewing, you make sure you check and see if this part is not going into it. So you sew by 1 inch. So once you are done, this is going to come this way. Then obviously you have to like close this part inside, since it's not going to enter into this. Since this part, the rest of this part here, that is from this notched sleeve point here to the second sleeve point here, is not going to enter into any spots. You can then close it in, or if you have already finished the edges of the collar before even placing it here, then that means you don't have to do anything. You just make sure it doesn't come into the side, so you don't have to like so fold the seams, fold this part inside and then sew down. So I hope you understand what I mean. So once you sew this part down, you begin to attach the rest, that is the rest of the collar here, to the back piece, and then you do the same also for this bit also. So you place this bit, this one doesn't even need anything, just sew this down, because this collar here is not obstructing the sewing of the side here. So you just sew down by 1 inch, and then you attach the rest of the collar to the back. So I'm not going to do the rest of the sewing now, and then I'll show you what it looks like. And this completes our dress for today. If you want sleeves on this dress, just like the dress inspiration we are working on today, all you have to do is before you close in the side seams here, you attach your sleeve right here before you then close it in with your side seams, and then you attach this to the back. So right, and then you do the same also here. If you want sleeves, you attach your sleeves right here, and that completes it. And this is how the back is going to go, and this is where your arms are going to be, and then you obviously fix your zipper right here.
And that's it, guys. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, pretty please. Tap the like button if you found today's tutorial helpful, and turn on the notifications bell so that you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. You can also check out these 2 tutorials right on top of your screen if you haven't yet seen them before. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.